Welcome to a special Robless Guile treatment episode of me and Barrett doing top 5 Libra of Souls cards. Yes, Libra of Souls. Pre-release is as of recording this weekend. I'm going to try to get this out by Friday. So Friday pre-releases, Saturday and Sundays, and the PTC that is ensues. Oh, hi, Ace. So we're going to start off, just giving our opinion and whatever that's worth. As Shane likes to say, shitty opinions. Just our perspective on our favorite cards in the set. So Barrett, you want to go first with your number? You want to do honorable mentions first and then work our way up, or work our way down? Your choice.
Let's work up.
Okay.
Most people work down. Let's work up.
Let's work up.
So
okay.
We'll start with the honorable mentions, and then how about we each do our fifth, and then our fourth, and then our third.
Sounds good.
Okay, I like
Sounds
it.
good.
Let's do it. You're the one that has to edit all this shit anyway.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
All right. So I'll start with my honorable mention. Again, these are all our opinions, and obviously narrowing down cards to the top 5. So we did 6 essentially.
Yeah, 6.
My honorable mention is Talim's Rare Foundation, Dancing Blades. It's a 1/5, no block, enhance, commit, flip, add a face down card from your card pool to your hand. I specifically really like this card as my honorable mention because it's not only a push your advantage kind of card, but I actually think shoving cards into your opponent's card pools are kind of going to somewhat come back. Specifically when it comes to playing against the combo-oriented decks, because they actually got quite a few legs this set, whether it be with Mitsurugi support or with Mira support, or Tira?
Yeah, Tira.
Tira support. Plus old Liu Kang already existing. And there's already a few that kind of are being played, such as like Swallow Your Soul and some Zhenghua.
Yeah.
So with that being said, Yin and Yangs might be more prevalent. And if not that, then maybe some Tira stuff we'll see more play. Regardless, if you play a multiple in your deck, this card works.
Yes.
And it basically says pick up a multiple copy. The cheeky thing about it too is if you know your opponent's playing, let's say like multiple hate or like prepare to fight, you can even just use the multiple, flip commit this, and pick up the attack before you even go to it. Obviously, the better case is you play a multiple, let the multiple go, play another attack, and you can pick this back up.
Correct.
I'm a little biased to this card as well because I think this card will be very good in Barrett Bryan 1 dot underwater because my character inherently adds face downs to their card pool. And I believe there's not a lot of characters across these symbols that inherently do that themselves.
Yeah, Rando off of Chaos actually can do it too.
Yeah, so Rando gets to do it too, so you get to recycle the card you used to copy your opponent's attack.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, if this shared a symbol like with Akuma, this would be very good.
Yes.
But
it does not.
Again, it's because Akuma could flip his own, and then you could pick him back up later on.
Yeah.
For that reason, I think this card is very good. I think its stats make it a little iffy to where if you're not doing that gimmick, probably not worth playing. But I think if you're playing multiples, so underwater, this will be very good. And under Chaos, I think this will be very good. Air will be maybe not as much. But
it would be a hit or miss thing with Air. Yeah.
But in Air, you could definitely do some cheeky things because it makes cards leave your card pool. So like some Ace Maneuver synergy there. That's already kind of like the biggest Air gimmick, I would say.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my honorable mention.
Mine is a foundation as well. It is out of the Cassandra support, Ominous Prophecy. It's a 2/5 +2 high block. R remove. This is the reason why I chose it. This ability here on its own is the reason why I chose it. R remove after the combat phase begins. Name a keyword. Attacks lose the named keyword for the rest of the turn. So it doesn't seal the attack. It just makes them lose it. So tell me if I'm wrong. So, like, say we play a deck with stunned attacks, and our opponent uses this, but can we give it an instance of stun after it's lost stun? Because it can't.
Yeah, you definitely should be able to give it instances.
Okay.
Because it's only losing. So it's very much like...
Away the True Warrior?
Yes. Okay. Except for this is the floating static window instead of the response on play window.
Gotcha.
which I think makes it really relevant because let's say on characters like
Lord Raptor for one,
Lord Raptor or Liu Kang, right?
Yeah.
It beats the response window.
Mm-hmm.
So Liu Kang is still on play, right? Or is he when you use a combo ability?
No, it's when you use an ability. So,
okay, never mind then. All right, well, regardless. So let's say Lord Raptor.
Yeah.
They always flash statically floating in effects, come in, and it loses the ability, it loses the keyword, and so responses on play don't work.
Sure.
Because they would trigger beforehand.
Okay.
I love this card. I think this card's great.
Yeah. It's even asset hate, which is also which is
also built in asset hate, which is relevant because of this next set coming out.
This set is crazy.
Could be relevant.
Yeah. I believe it's me. Page up real quick because don't remember if it's a rare or not. So it is a common. Yeah.
They hand them out at US Nets.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So this card here easily going into every deck on Symbol just because how prevalent Raptor, like anything.
It's not even that. It's like also like. Is it when they're played, or is it just for the rest of the turn?
It's for the rest. It's they lose them, then they lose the named keyword for the rest of the turn.
So I don't know the clarification on this. This is probably a FAM ruling. I don't know if that holds true while they're also in hand, because if they also lose them, it means you can't ever get reversal with this card.
That's true. Yeah,
because the card just says attack cards lose the named keyword for the rest of the turn. Yeah. So if they lose it while it's in your hand, does it ever have it? Can you ever actually activate the reversal window?
Oh, okay. Yeah, that'd be a good question to ask. So
I don't know that ruling because I'm not an LGR guru, but
neither am I. So,
but
where's Rob?
If that was the case, that means this card's great.
Yeah.
It's already great for let's say even characters like Jackie Briggs, like just killing tech or playing
you just say powerful and they can never.
Bakugo,
they can gain
right? Like any of these characters that are reliant on even just like keyword like
traits.
What are they called?
They're called traits.
Traits.
Yeah.
I just think it's great. Safe if you're playing a reversal deck. You can kill safe.
Mm-hmm. I think that might be the biggest one right there. Like that may be the biggest. Like this automatically slots in as a 4 in Kurama, just because you don't ever want to face safe attacks.
Yeah. I think. For this next set, throws might be more relevant, and especially like decks that are maybe built around throws because of Astaroth's Ultra Rare.
Yeah.
Killing throw on every attack is pretty relevant.
Yeah, it is.
Obviously, Kotal Khan still beats it, but because they would lose, and then you give it. So, I think this card's just all around really good. It also has a good block on it.
Yes,
so
it does. Okay.
If you're not mainboarding this, it's already in your sideboard.
Yeah.
Before you've made the deck, before you even knew it existed, it's already in your side.
Just main it. Just main at least 2 first, and then because that just shits all over Raptor because he can't give anything flash anyways. So unless you want, because Adenial Royalty hits, it's not even on Symbol, so it doesn't. Well, it's on death, so he couldn't even give his attack flash. I think it says your opponent's next attack gain flash.
I think it says next attack, but it does say next one.
Yeah, and then we lose High Seas with this set coming in, so he can't give his own attacks flash. So, yay! I'm so excited. All right, moving on to our actual top 5. So Barrett, you can do yours. You hit your 5th.
Oh yes, my number 5 pick is an Aswell card.
Ooh.
I'm going to pick Betrayer of the 12. It is a 2/5, 2 high block common foundation. Respond commit after the block step of your attack. If it was blocked, draw a card. If it wasn't blocked, your opponent flips a foundation. I mainly picked it just because of that top ability.
Sure.
A committing card that selectively draws you a card or makes your opponent flip a card. I almost never think you'll use the flip, but the fact that you can say R commit after they've blocked, it's not before. I swear there's a card like this that exists in Street Fighter. It's like enhanced commit. If it's blocked, do something, and then you can like pop it, and then it has effect.
I want to say it's either a Balrog or a DJ card. That's what I think. Their support was pretty bad. So
yeah, it it was not good, and you had to pop it.
Yeah.
And so it was like, this card says you get to decide after the block has happened or hasn't happened.
Mm-hmm.
If it didn't, or if it did, sorry, you can redraw a card by committing this. And if it did happen, you can start getting rid of pieces just to commit it.
Yeah.
It already has a good high block on it, too. I think it's fine. It also has another ability where you can destroy it. Your opponent discards all of their momentum, but that effect will only be good in decks that can flip your opponent's foundations.
Yep.
Or if you're playing against a lot of decks that flip them.
There's a lot of flip costs nowadays, so you could possibly.
It's not even just that. So under all three of these symbols, I think it's really good, and that's why I picked it. Is because under Chaos you have Hunt for Spiders and Dragons, which means both effects can be relevant.
Sure.
Under Earth, you have a lot of flipping stuff, so both effects can be relevant. And it's also drawing on a foundation in Earth, and there's not a lot of that, and I think this could be really good for them.
And then if you're playing into the whole flip thing, it just makes you flip them faster. So
right, exactly. And then under All, it has more abilities to ready this foundation, which means you repeat a draw.
Sure.
And that's why I think it's probably really, really good.
I see this and it just says, "Hey, look, I'm playing All or Earth Vicious," and I get more
cards. If it's blocked, draw one. If it's not,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like,
and for a committed foundation effect,
that's not bad. And then off of All, you could use Fiddlesticks to stack that card. You could stack it and then draw whatever you want. So that seems pretty cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
It obviously synergizes just like as well as any card that has the ability that says if it's not blocked to do something really strong.
Yeah, very true.
So like Ghost Thief Funeral with this card under 2 symbols says discard momentum for its ability and lose 3, I draw 3 if you don't block it, and if you do block it, I still get to draw my 1. So it's like, again, under All, you're right, you get to stack cards on top of your deck, so you can really take advantage of it.
It's kind of funny, like with Vicious, you go like Fatality. If they don't block it, you draw, and then you flip something. They have to flip something. Or if they block it, if they don't want you to draw, you still draw a card. It's just like sick, dude. I get to draw all the cards in the world. So that just seems pretty silly, you know?
It is in the character as well also gets it. And that's kind of also too, like I think Aswell is going to be really good because Cassandra and Aswell are coming out and they're both have Earth, which is already a very strongly debated strong symbol.
Yeah.
And they're both 7-handers, Cassandra and Aswell.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to compete some space with Tim Keefe, because that was one of the biggest appeals of Tim Keefe 2. Is that he was a 7-hander that played the Earth symbol very well. Aswell needs a bunch of cards in his hands to do very good things.
Very true.
A card like this in him, obviously, that's why it's his card.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, I think this card's really underrated. I just don't think a lot of people are talking about it. And so that's why it snuck in at my number 5.
Sure. Cool. My number 5 is an asset because I like the shiny things in life. It's Omega Sword and Owl Shield. It's out of Cassandra support. You may be a theme going with all my cards. There's a lot of Cassandra cards. It's a 1/5 +1 mid-block. Unique weapon, static. While this card is ready in your staging area, your blocks ignore progressive difficulty. E4+. Your attack gets a damage bonus equal to its printed block modifier. Playable while committed. Cassandra enhanced twice per turn. Your block modifier to block this attack gets -2. So let's break this down. That static is crazy. To coin a better term, it's busted. Being able to block out a progressive with with characters who have speed hate on them, or on 2 out of the Earth has tons of speed hate, and being able to block out a progressive with a stop, like as your second or third block, if you haven't blocked with it at first or whatever, you know,
or drew into
it. Yeah, it's crazy. You're blocking on just printed like whatever you want. And I don't know, there was a card called Sisterly Scolding that didn't see a lot of play, but when it usually got cited in a lot when it was played. But being able to block out of progressive is very powerful, in my opinion.
This card is also just like, as I mentioned before about like shoving cards in your opponent's card pool with the combo mechanic existing.
Mm-hmm.
This beats that whole like the reason why you do it, right? Like just this card existing as long as it's ready, and it doesn't commit itself for any effect, so that's really just for counterplay for your opponent to use.
Mm-hmm.
It also just inherently has good stats.
And it has damage pump. Yeah, damage
speed
pump.
bump.
No, it's damage. You get a damage.
It's a speed bonus equal to the printed block modifier.
It says a damage bonus equal to its printed block modifier.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, the actual card says that, but Ultra says not that.
What? Are you serious?
Yeah. I'm hoping it's also... Oh, that's playable while committed. Okay, I'm not going to read the Ultra thing. I'm going to look at the card. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Damage bonus, that's playable while committed. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the damage bonus.
It makes more sense because Cassandra gives speed, so this would do the opposite.
Yeah.
So I get it. Okay. Yeah, it also gives damage. It's pretty good.
It gives life and good some damage pump because inherently they don't have a whole lot outside of like a couple cards. Life in general needs a lot of help. I think it's kind of fallen off a bit, but and if you're Cassandra, you get the sexy -2 to your block mod. We all know how good Shadow Inheritance is. So
and you can play it in 2 symbols.
Yeah, you can. It's like
means your blocks ignore and they get so easy that after you block the
stupid. It's like, I need a -1. Okay, we got it. Yeah, it's just. And so, though, I think the real question is the counterplay to this card is how much committing, like, obviously destroying assets, adding them to your momentum, like with Ominous Prophecy and all that. How much counterplay will we see against these? Because Homemade Explosives is coming back in a couple months, like after December, I think. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, after December. So we have to wait a while for that. So I think Asset Hate's going to be a premium again after this set is legal, because we saw a big bump in assets kind of after the Soul Calibur meta. We saw some assets like with Krita Yuga and Kali Yuga for the most part. Even though Shishio is one of my favorites out of that set. So, but yeah, cool. Yeah, this is a good card. And it's a rare. So, better.
Yeah, the fact is, too, is that Radical Edward does work against this card as well.
It does.
Because it has a keyword, and you can commit it to shut it off.
Yep.
So, that's what's good about it, too.
Mm-hmm. Which I would like to see them add more statics like that. Because I know Hiei has a couple foundations that are like that, that when this card is ready, you can look at their face downs or whatever, or even himself is when he's ready. You get to look at your opponent's momentum as well. So I think adding stipulations to statics is a good way to go instead of just having a blanket static in a way. So.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
You ready? You ready for my spicy deck that's going to play that card that I already told you, or I haven't told you about?
No, I don't think so.
My spicy deck is I get to bring Donovan 2 back out because Order becomes really good.
Yeah.
And we're going to play another card on your list that we won't get to right now that builds in foundations from discard pile. And so, it doesn't say normally play.
Oh,
so
it builds in. Oh, does it? Wait.
Yeah. So it builds in.
Oh, it builds in an asset or foundation. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
so you sneak this in, and Donovan, if all of your blocks ignored, infinite blocks.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's go.
Oh my gosh. All right. You're number 4.
My number 4 is also a Cassandra card.
She has good cards, people.
I know she does. This is also the card that was showcased by UFS Scotland. It is Angel Discus.
Yeah, that card's cool.
It is essentially the new Leaf Shield.
Yep.
Even though we still have Barrier of Frost, but this one's way better than it. So, but different 3 symbols, so that's always nice too.
Yeah.
It's a 3 difficulty, 3 mid for 3 with a 3 high block and checks a 3. So there's all your 3s.
It's a 3 mid. It's a mid block, by the way. It's not. You said high, but it's okay.
My bad.
You're excited. We understand.
I am excited.
I am very excited for this card.
Breaker 1 ranged, multiple 1s safe. After you block an attack with this card, that attack deals no damage. Enhance during the end phase. Add this card to your hand. Only playable if you have 1 or more assets.
That's so rad.
Okay, there's a few things with this. 1, Lilith 2 dot has Earth.
Mm-hmm.
And this has 3 damage. That's pretty good.
It's very good. Yes.
So, and the fact that you get to get it back, which means you can attack with it offensively, and you can bump its attack and defense.
Sure.
And it has saves, so you're not punished. Second, it's a really good defensive piece for people like Liv or anyone in general.
Yeah.
This is another one of those really strong cards that's really good with Omega Sword and Owl Shield that we talked about. It's got a 3 mid block, but if all your blocks ignore, it's nice.
Yep. It also gets 3 damage with that, if that damage bonus. So
yeah, high block mods. Yeah, you're right.
High block mods are good.
And the second thing is, if you have an asset, it's reusable, which is going to be really relevant, and it's going to be even more relevant for you to remove assets against cards that just play this, because it is literally just a free attack that you get to pick up every single turn.
Yes.
And the fact that it's during the end phase, like. Never mind. It doesn't matter if it's during the end phase, but like it's during the end phase, so you get to pick it back up. And there's not a lot of things that really get to counter it. Because it says end phase. I don't know the timing on it yet, but let's say your opponent blocks with a hand cannon.
It depends on whose turn it is.
Well, it'd be your opponent's. So theirs would clear, and then you get yours, right?
Yeah.
So you would get it back.
Oh, I mean, like if your opponent during the end phase, so you have to attack with this. So if they block with the hand cannon, I believe you clear first.
Oh, right.
So you don't.
You're right.
So you don't.
Okay.
If your opponent.
See, the thing is too is during the end phase after or before clear, or it'd have to be before.
It's before. It's before. You can't get it back if they block with hand cannon. So
whatever. I'm spouting nonsense.
It's okay. That's what we do on the show.
And it has Breaker 1 for your sick jet players that want to Breaker 3.
Breaker 3 people? Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Can't. It has multiple. Never mind. They thought about it.
It says no. Oh, that's too bad. Oh, I'll get wrecked. Oh, well. He has better. He has brutality anyways for Breaker 5, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So.
Honestly, I think the biggest reason why I put this on my list is because Lee Shield was very... I thought Lee Shield was very relevant for the format that it had existed in.
Yeah.
And when Barrier of Frost came out, like, that card just wasn't as good as Leaf Shield. And I think this one is actually better than Leaf Shield, even with a worse block.
Well, I mean, like, like Leaf Shield was like a 2 for 4, and this is a potentially 3 for 6 or more. Because of multiple on it. Yeah.
But I think because this is good enough, this is the new, like, man, I need more Omni blocks because Spirit Shotgun is still a thing. I'm glad that there's more Spirit Shotgun answers.
Very true.
Because this does it. And this is easily sideboarded in any character that plays these symbols. So.
Yep. One good thing, too, is on Earth, you may not even play this on Earth because you have Karma to stop Shotgun. So
you have Karma. You also have Omega Sword and Oak Shield.
Elk Shield. Elk Shield, not Owl.
Whatever.
It's kind of weird. Like they're sisters, and they have. I know she's had the same sword. She just had a different shield. So yeah, just weird.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Anywho, cool. Yeah, I think the card's pretty good. I'm definitely gonna. I can see it sideboarded in a couple decks. Definitely like in Sophitia deck. Like I could see a lot of Cassie's cards, Cassandra, I should say. Going into Sophitia because they share 2 symbols, and it makes sense because really you give your opponent's attack -2 speed, it kind of alleviates that +3 mid block, and that's why Sophie can play stop so easily. It's just like cool, -2 speed block. I check a 5, okay, or a 4, whatever. It makes it so much easier. So
I definitely agree.
Number 4. I may get kind of chastised for this because it's my number 4 pick because I picked attacks for all 3 of my top 3. Scarlet Thunder out of the Sung Mina support. It is a 2/5 +3 low block unique weapon. Discard 1 momentum. If your non-throw attack deals damage, add 1 other card from your card pool to your hand. It has no limit, so as long as you have a bunch of momentum, you can keep picking up non-throw attacks. As long as you're you can pick up throws as long as your non-throw attack deals damage. Correct, yes. And then Song Mina remove add up to 2 cards from your card pool to your hand. So you can theoretically get rid of all your momentum and then Song Mina to get more cards back into your hand. So I picked this pretty much because any type of card pool recursion is usually really, really good. You'll see that with another card that I have picked, but being able to reuse attacks, like you can pick up anything, blocks. Yeah, wait. Well, Sung Mina can pick up blocks, because it has to be your non-throw attack that deals damage. So
I like this card because in reversals in any deck, on the reversal you can pick your block back up.
yes,
for you to use it again.
mm-hmm.
And if you play another reversal, you can pick up the other one. That's really gimmicky. But
it's very gimmicky. But there's the idea is there. It could possibly happen. So
it basically turns. Okay, so like one of the things is like non-block reversals have always been really scary.
Mm-hmm.
So like to me, like I know Endines rotates, but like I love Chainblade.
Sure.
But man, having the non-block on it was really rough. This card says that non-block reversals you can play, and they have a purpose because they get to give you that block back.
Sure.
As long as you have the momentum. And that's the deal. So like there's a bunch of caveats here, but like I definitely love this card, and I think this is the Krita Yuga. This is what Krita Yuga is to Zhenghua. This is the same thing for Sung Mina.
Sure.
With an extra effect of, oh, hey, other people can bounce attacks back. The fact that this shares a symbol also with Kali Yuga means there can be some serious attack recursion going on in this meta with just two things.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a little scary.
The one good thing is though you can't Kotal Khan it. You can't make it because he gives it throw, so it has to be a non-throw. Right. So you have to hit them with a non-throw to be able to pick up the attack you played previous. So you can't just loop moon sets over and over again. Which
it's a really good non-throw attack that usually deals damage all the time. Spirit Shotgun. So now if you play two shotguns, you can pick the other one back up.
Yeah.
And you can also pick that up with Kali.
No.
Yeah, Kali. No, right.
It
Sorry,
is not.
It's safer weapon.
Safer weapon.
I always think it's range.
It's okay. It should be, I guess. Yeah, I'm just glad it doesn't say range because then we get really, really crazy. So.
Right. Obviously, the caveat is also momentum.
Yeah.
This gives Good Fae, I think, a really, really good tool.
Oh, yeah.
This says that you no longer have to do just Black Dog's Fangs anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You can do anything.
Yeah.
And if you could pick something that gives you a momentum, that'd be really cool.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Is that a pseudo infinite with that one Slash Man card?
Oh, are you talking about Slash Claw, or the one that gives you momentum when you play it?
Is that a pseudo infinite with two of those?
It might be, but it's.
I guess it deals, right?
As long as it deals, it has to deal, and it's a 3 mid for 5, so it's not like very hard to not get hit by. So I guess.
Does it have all? No.
No, you play it off a good.
Under good, okay.
Yeah, you do it off a good.
I tried.
Yeah. Whatever. It sounds fun. You could always, Slash Man is pretty good. See, he gives himself momentum and clears momentum on your opponent's side, so it's not bad.
Regardless, I think this card's crazy.
Yeah. I think it's going to be one of the chase ultra rares. So
yeah,
I think so. Number
3. Speaking of Sung Mina, as I try and pull up cards,
all good.
My number 3 is another foundation. It's Never a Day Without Training. It's a 1/5/2 low block, enhance flip. If you have one or more assets, draw a card. And its other ability is enhance flip, discard a card, draw one card.
We got a replacement for Voice of Reason.
Yeah, so it's not on our list, but what's the name of that card?
Pure of Heart.
Pure of Heart existing.
It gets the slops of the show. There you go, right there. It gets the slops. So
it gets the slops.
Yeah, it gets the slops, man.
Because that spam foundation exists, it's very hard to play any cards that make your opponent discard stuff.
Yeah.
And Voice of Reason was very good at that, and Mob Strike was very good at that. To just cycle for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And if you never want to have to worry about that again, you can just play this.
Yeah.
And it has a low block. And I think lot of the good symbols low blocks right now are really bad. So this one's really good.
Yeah.
And Order got another way to redraw, because this has Order as well as Voice of Reason.
Yeah.
And all probably didn't need this. And
nah.
This is a serious 1/5 with a low block that.
And if you have an asset, you just flip it to draw. That's just
You just flip it to draw.
All right.
You don't have to discard.
Yeah.
Under all, there's a lot of 1/5 somethings with a low block on it.
Yeah.
Like Orphan Alphinist,
Fei
Goro's
Fei.
Victory Pose, Fei Fei, and like this might just take Victory Pros or Orphan Alchemist's spot, depending if you want the 6 check versus action hate.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this is under good. I think this is crazy. I don't think good has never had anything like this.
No, I don't think so either.
From like.
At least since I've been playing, and I've always.
I mean, Mega Man card.
Oh, the naivete. Oh, wait, Mega Man the Mega Man 10 had naivete, which was a 1/5 +2 low block with a blank with a blank space.
I was talking about for drawing cards.
Oh, for drawing cards. I'm just saying in general for low, its low blocks have always been pretty bad. So just
I agree with that though. So I think this card's pretty much an auto include in any of these symbols. To be honest,
I agree.
Regardless if you play assets or not.
Yeah.
So just watch out for the draw hate that might be running around. Add to hand hate.
Yeah.
Because there's a big contender in one of our top spots that might be a reason why a lot of that's played. Whatever. It's still a spam. I think this card's great. So
cool. Number 3 for me. Downward Spiral from Voldo. It's a 4 difficulty 2 check, +1 low block. 5 low 5, charge, fury, weapon. This attack gets +X damage. X equals both players' combined printed hand size minus the total number of cards in both players' hands. That's a mouthful. And then Void Enhance, your opponent discards a card. So, again, be mindful of your pure hearts because you don't want to do this and then get wrecked, but if you're going to discard their last card in their hand, and it can hit for a lot. I saw Tim Keefe on his stream last night hit, I think it was like 18 damage with it pretty easily. And it's just because he was Cervantes anyways, but this card's pretty nuts because it's a 4 difficulty 2 check, which the 2 check doesn't even matter. It's a 4 difficulty, so you're always checking that's going to be a 5 or a 4. It's not like it's a 6 diff or anything, and it's a 5 low 5, which we all made the joke that every ultra rare in this set was a 5 speed for 5 damage or higher, like every ultra rare attack for the most part. But then it has that nice void discard enhance on there. So, but it's just a solid all around fantastic numbers card because you're gonna hit them for way more than just 5 in general.
This existing in conjunction with Queen of Heart is, I think, enough to make it relevant. One's a high difficulty but has a good check. This one's very low difficulty with a not as safe check. Both with very good block modifiers. Makes it to where the discard decks just actually have real gas. And the fact that this one also pumps damage makes it very, very good. I think characters to also look out for this card. Although Yoshimitsu does not have Void, it is a weapon, and it's very easy for him to take advantage of it. And he's a 5 hand size, so he can also kind of get this to hit pretty hard.
Because what do people do against Yoshimitsu? Always play all their low blocks, so they're never going to have one because they're not going to expect it.
Right, and so they won't expect it, as well as it gives you a free stat, like double stat boost for the next thing. So I think it's really cheeky in that sense. There's another Voldo attack that I think is really good in Yoshimitsu. It's the one that makes your opponent check one in your discard pile, and they discard a card. Again, with Pure Heart roaming around, I think it's very hard to be safe around this card. But I will say that this is probably one of the go-tos right now for the Ed and Nine deck that's also playing the Amy Ultra Rare.
Oh, sure.
You can you play a Fatality or get a Momentum or whatever, and under Void, and you play the Amy Ultra Rare. You sack their whole hand basically because you have 4 characters, and then you can play this on a 5, and it's like minimum for like 10 damage,
10 or 11,
easy. Like even if your opponent's a 5-hander, it's at least like 11, or 12 or whatever.
It's crazy.
And so it's a really easy. It's just really easy to abuse your opponent for playing too many cards. Even slamming this on turn 2. after your opponent played 3 or 4 cards in their hand, like it's still for 9-10 damage.
That's pretty good. Yeah, and that 5 speed's nothing. That 5 speed could come into because most low attacks are slower, so having a faster low attack is actually really good right now. So yeah, maybe Void's making a comeback. So.
Yeah, don't underestimate this card just because Pure Heart exists. Yeah. You could never use the discard on it, and this card would still be a threat.
Yeah, and it's because it's at least doubling its damage. Easy. Easy.
Because you just slam these later on in the chain because they're only a 4 diff.
They're only 4 diff, so
and your hand size is lower as well.
So you're just getting more damage. Yeah, cool.
100% agree.
Your number 2, sir.
This is a comment. It's Inferno support. Death Lord's Impalement.
Oh, this card's nuts.
There's a lot of talk about this card at Nationals.
Sure.
Because it was a comment that was handed out. It's a 4 difficulty 3 check, 3 mid for 5, 1 mid block, Desperation 3, weapon. Enhance, lose 2 vitality. This attack gets a damage bonus equal to the total vitality you've lost as enhanced step. Desperation enhance. This attack gets a speed bonus equal to the vitality you've lost during this enhanced step. All right, so the reason why I picked this card as number 2 is because I think this card puts a bunch... I think this puts Evil Desperation like back in the map. I think before...
I agree.
Yeah, because with Spirit Shotgun coming out, it was almost too scary to play those decks because you cut yourself so low.
Sure.
And if your opponent lived... you just died to a shotgun like with nothing in their card pool. Yeah. So this gives you a way to just kill your opponent before they have a chance to do that.
Yeah.
And the reason I say that is because the biggest contenders I think that will use this card effectively are Scorpion, because it has Desperation on it. You give an extra 6. He inherently loses 3 vitality during the enhanced step. Because you lose 2 from this itself, it is a minimum 8 mid for if you cut to Desperation, it is an 8 mid for 19.
Is that even losing? Is that even with the 2 speed he gains too?
Nope, 10 mid for 19. And then
you burn 2 on block and you die. So
and all you did to do that was lose 5 vitality.
That's insane.
He inherently just gives the 2 speed and the 6 damage because of his character.
Yeah.
I think this card gets crazier in other people. A lot of people said Vicious because Vicious also cuts for 3.
Yeah.
And but it's a little harder. It's like he's not a desperation based character.
Yeah.
So getting to that desperation enhance is kind of whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But it is a very strong attack that they probably won't block, so they also draw cards from it.
Have you thought of our Lord and Savior Kotal Khan with this card?
I have also thought about Lord and Savior Kotal Khan because he also loses, and he can give a throw.
Yes.
The biggest contender, actually, I think, is Shinnok.
Oh, yeah.
I think Shinnok will actually break the game with this card.
Sure.
Because the Abyss is still something in this game.
Yeah, here you go, yeah.
So I'm going to do some quick maths. Like, I got a pencil out just for this. Okay. All right, so Shinnok loses 2 for 2 speed.
Yeah.
And that's all he does.
Yep.
But you can then pay 3 with Abyss to cancel that. And it doesn't cancel because your effects can't be canceled.
Correct.
That's already 5. So you've already matched Scorpion, but you don't have the extra 6 damage, right?
Yeah.
If you have any enhances on your board, they don't even have to lose you vitality.
You can just cut 3 for every one of them.
You can New Empress of the Netherrealm.
Yeah.
You can Most Trusted Assassin. You can use the Inferno 1/5 that cuts you for 2. Whatever it is.
Does he specifically say your stuff cannot be canceled, or is it by your opponent's effects?
He says your effects cannot be canceled.
1 second. I got it. Wait.
That was
Yeah, I believe you. You keep doing your maths, but I just want to double check.
Okay, so if you're and the fact is that if
oh my god, that's insane. Yes. Okay. Yeah. This is so dumb.
Also, if your opponent ever plays an enhance, you can just keep canceling it with Abyss. So you're losing more and more vitality, and it gets you to desperation so fast. So I can't even do math because the Abyss is so volatile.
Yeah.
But because the Abyss exists and because you can do it in Shinnok, you can actually just send this for lethal on almost any turn 2.
If your opponent plays enhances, or you play enhances, to
or if you built another realm of most trusted assassin.
Because NetherRealm's what, 3? Burn 3 to draw, right?
Burn 3 to draw.
So there's 6.
And then you 6. So
11.
So you lost 6 with NetherRealm.
Yeah.
You can lose 1 with. And I'm picking spams. Like, you're not failing these.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Lose 1 with most trusted assassin. So that's another 4. And let's say the Inferno 1 diff. So we lose 2 to give it 2 more damage.
Yeah.
And then we lose 3. So we've lost 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 for +2 speed. +2 damage, draw a card, and your opponent's next check gets -1.
Mm-hmm.
So then we lose another 2 for its ability, and then we respond Abyss for another 5. So we've lost 15 vitality.
And you're in desperation now. Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We do this in the right order, obviously, as well.
Yeah.
So that we can, draw 2, pitch 1. So in case we draw another one, we should.
For sure, yeah.
And so we've given it now +15 damage because we use the top E.
Yeah.
And then, or if you need more damage to kill somebody, so that's 17 damage. But let's say you're playing against a 7-hander or whatever, and you need a little bit more. So you do the desperation enhance first, but you can still cancel it. So that's plus 13 speed, and then we do it again after we lose the 2, but we use the abyss again. So now we get +18 damage, which now means you're sending, and that's plus. So now we have an 18 mid for 25.
That sounds hilarious.
Oh, and it has a +1 mid block.
Oh, yeah, okay, fine. Yeah, it's pretty good. I'm going to do that right now. Yeah. You're going to style on people like that with that card. Yeah. I think that card's going to be pretty good. That's...
Obviously, that's a very high rolly expectation
for sure.
with the Abyss. But the fact that it also can't be canceled, your opponent can't deal with it. They can't cancel any of those things.
Yeah.
And if your opponent plays stuff like
Speed Hate or anything
refusing
like that,
to let go, or you can then cancel them with Abyss. And so, it's also under Evil, so you get Revoke.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I think Scorpion is probably the more practical approach because Scorpion also has very good defensive abilities.
Yes.
As well as sending a 10 mid for 16.
It's a lot.
For 16 is pretty good enough for a 4 diff.
It's okay. It's all right.
And the fact that you're only losing 5 during that, you're only losing 5 during that from Scorpion itself and the attack means you can do it again.
Yeah, for sure.
The Shinnok one's very blowouty.
Yeah.
But it's crazy, man. Just this common attack might actually make any character that loses vitality super on the map.
Sure. Okay.
So there you go. That's my favorite quick math session.
That was some definite deep dive into that.
That's
thing.
number 2. Right?
That was number 2, by the way. My number 2 doesn't go as deep, and you can hear the dogs in the background because the wife's home. I got new song style, Scarlet Meteor. It is a 5 difficulty 3 check. Be quiet, you dogs! Jesus! Sorry, everyone. My dogs are going nuts. It's a 5 difficulty 3 check, 5 high for 5, +1 mid block. Breaker 2, powerful 4 weapon. E, you may destroy assets in addition to discarding momentum to pay for this attack's powerful ability. Card pool, destroy 1 asset. After an action is played, cancel its effects. E, destroy 1 foundation. Add 1 asset or foundation from your discard pile to your staging area. That comes in ready, by the way. This card does a whole lot to kill your opponent, or set up to kill your opponent. Being able to be in revoke proof, or if you play this as your first attack, it's basically your bang proof too. If you have an asset on board. So you can't.
Or you use you use the last enhance first.
Yeah, you could also do that too. Yes.
Yep.
This has been called the
moon set of the set.
The moon set of the set. The moon set is basically the moon set. It has better speed, does 1 less damage, but it can be way better in the long run. I guess is what I'm trying to say, because it has breaker on it. You can't coddle it, unfortunately, because that's a powerful attack. Sorry, everyone. But being able to cherry pick an asset or foundation out of your discard pile I've been noticing this set has a lot of recursion in it. It's just kind of nuts.
Just inherently.
So like your venomous stuff like that. So you're gonna start. I think you may see some play in that, but this card's it's nuts. Like, yeah, this card's really good. That's all I can say. I can't really say much else about it, but other than I can't go deep diving with like 8 characters like Barrett.
No,
but
that's okay. I can give you some fun interactions with this one.
Hi, dear.
Under good. Bonsai Enthusiast is very good with this card.
Yeah.
Whether you want to respond and increase the breakers,
or
if you want to draw a card during this. Jet. With that in mind, Jet with this card is very nice.
Yes.
Whether it be a breaker 4 or a powerful 6 on your turn, which is really nice. What's some other deep dives? Obviously, in Sung Mina, this card's crazy.
Yeah, because Sung Mina can also give it stun 3. So, right?
Yeah.
Yes, she gives stun.
Yeah, so she makes it faster. Killick can...
you can loop this if you wanted to.
Yeah, this is a looper one. Killick can do it because it has weapon.
Yep. Man, say you play like a 3 diff with him, you E him, you bring this down, you build. You could also, like, you can attack on turn 1 pretty easily with it and loop still, I think. At least, no, because you need to play this, then another attack to loop the other attack. So, I'm not a Keyluk master. I'm not Jeremy Ray. So.
That's okay. Well, the fact is, like, you can play this, pop a foundation to build in Sung Mina's asset, obviously. That's why it's a big thing.
Yeah.
Or Kali Yuga, and you have looping power with not even necessarily like this card, but like you can loop with other attacks you played that turn.
Sure.
Again, because it's a Sung Mina card and it has good, you can play Spirit Shotgun with this. It has weapon, which makes it incredibly relevant for Yoshimitsu under all.
Oh, yes. It also gets damage. Yeah.
Assets in Yoshimitsu are now a thing because there's now more of them that have the weapon keyword. So, like, imagine Yoshimitsu being able to pick up his attacks again. Oh, he can because he has Scarlet Thunder now under all, and this can give him it. That is all in the set as well.
As well. Cassandra can also use it to bring in, say, she just needs to bring in her assets. Like, she checks and brings in assets. So if you want to overload on assets, you can bring in more assets if you want.
You can overload this and actually just play a bunch of powerful for it by playing a character like Cassandra and getting rid of them. This card's really good. And Kevin Broberg, I think he's going to have a lot more legs because of this card, and they're good. Honestly, we could go on and on.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
This is the card I was talking about with Donovan 2, under 2 of those symbols. It doesn't say that you can normally play for the foundation or
yes, so you can off-symbol stuff.
You can off-symbol and cheat stuff in, specifically with Donovan, the Omega Sword and Owl Shield, which allows your blocks to ignore, which means Donovan can draw a ton of cards infinitely to block because they ignore, which is really nice. So just, being able to cheat stuff in is going to be really nice. 1 mid-block breaker 2 just makes it already playable.
For sure.
This card's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm surprised it's not your number 1, but I understand.
No, my number 1 is my number 1 for a reason, and that's why.
Okay.
But anyway. Your number 1, sir.
My number 1's probably not as crazy.
All my cards are flashy. Cards. You picked a lot of solid cards that are going to see a lot of play. I picked all the flash, I picked all the...
You picked the cassette that might get banned. Yeah, I got it.
Probably,
Right, so my number 1 is Raphael's Ultra Rare Attack.
Yeah.
Royal Poison. It is not a 5 for 5. It's a 6 for 6, by the
way. Break out your hairbands, kids.
Yeah, it's a 5 difficulty, 3 check, 6 mid for 6 with a 1 low block.
That's a sexy
charge. Block. EX3, Fury, powerful 3, weapon. Enhance, destroy a foundation. If this attack is blocked, ready all cards in your staging area. 1, that are deadlock enhance, seal 2 of your opponent's foundations, and then commit 2 of your opponent's foundations.
Oh, that's awesome. I like that.
Yeah. And I'm glad the sealed's first because you can seal anti-committal stuff, and then you can commit the committal stuff.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Or you can seal those ones and commit 2 other things. Sorry. So the important thing, first enhance, if it's blocked, ready all your stuff. Does not say that has not been readied. So under air, this is going to be really good.
Yeah.
because air already readies a ton of stuff, and this can now ready them again. Under order, it's really nice because order has a lot of commit enhance effects. I believe, if I recall correctly, being able to reuse stuff like that is really strong. Under life, you also have quite a few committal as costs, and so it allows you to overload them and use them, and you still get the benefit of this existing. The fact that this has EX and powerful makes this card always a threat.
Sure.
The fact that it has weapon makes it a threat with other weapon synergistic cards. The fact that it has Fury, it's a really cheeky play with
Bakugo. Yeah, it does.
Because if you block it, it clears.
And then you ready everything.
That's pretty neat. Obviously, like, you probably just won't do it.
That has a really good... It has a... Like, to ready all your cards, because it says all your cards, so it's even if your assets and your character are committed.
Also your character, yes.
You get to ready your character... For one foundation, it's worth it, because it's either...
It's 100% worth it.
It's worth it.
This is as worth it. It's like what's the downside of this card, right? It's blow up a foundation and its attack was essentially free.
Yeah.
And it makes even more attacks free, right?
Yeah.
I think this is really strong for order and life because a lot at least the order not so much anymore because they got like Kazuya Repa and they have Moonset and now they have Scarlet Meteor. Order needed cards that mattered. Yeah. And this is another one that matters. Like at any point, it's like you have to deal with this, and if you can't, then whatever. Yeah. You eat a bunch of damage because it already has base stats that are crazy, and because it also has powerful on it, makes it even crazier.
So I think my first experiment with this card will be Cammy, because you get to commit her, and then if they block it, you get to ready her, and then do it again, and then do something else, and then you just keep. If you're able to stack stuff, you're able to just keep playing her all day. I mean, you get to do her more than once a turn.
That's really good.
Yeah, it seems kind of
also like that, and that sounds pretty crazy.
Yeah, it seems a lot of fun. Yeah.
Other commit, so under life and air, under Spike 2-Dot.
Oh, yes.
It's kind of really cool. Because you have the 6 diff cannon and this. Yeah. And it's not a tech. So
no, you can't. You can still get momentum on. I think you could still get the multiple.
Yes, you can always still get the momentum, but you can't. It doesn't get multiple.
It doesn't get multiple.
Not that I think it matters.
No.
You can get a momentum and then buff this up to make them want to block it, and then you get your character back.
Yeah, that'd be kind of neat. That seems neat. Like I could see a lot of cool stuff out of this. Who else? There's another. Reese 2 likes to. He commits himself to draw a card, and then if it hits, he draws another card. And it's a weapon, so he gets to buff it with stats. And then if they block it, you get to ready him. And then you get to do him again on the next attack. So you could actually draw a whole bunch of cards with him. And that seems kind of neat. I like that. I think that seems something fun to do, like a different way to play.
Does Sagat also commit? Sagat also commits
himself. Yes, he commits himself to pitch 2 cards out of his card pool. Yeah.
So you can do that, play this as a huge threat.
Yep. And it has Fury, so you can also get the speed and damage from his and only from Sagat stuff, because Sasha's is, I think, Chaos, Death, and Life. So you only get one or the other unless you want to off symbol something. So
it's just a crazy thing that like committal characters might really have legs again because this card is relevant and it can ready them.
Yep. So it also means that your opponent has to be careful if they stop you early in the turn and you have this in your hand, or
Oh, that's really high. Or it doesn't work that way.
Well, no, I mean like say you play an attack to bait out the stop, and they stop you, then you slam this down, then they have to either eat damage or block it, and and you make it big enough to where like, well, I don't want to get like chunked for 12, so they block it. You ready all your crap, and then you just keep going as normal. So it could, it
also has 5 keywords on it. Relevant for Demon Realm Awakening.
Yeah, that's an 11 damage attack right there, kids. Yeah.
But it seems something like you want to. There's a ton of things. It's like this card to me, and the reason why I put it at my number 1 is because the ceiling for this card I think is so high for a 5 diff with a 6 mid for 6 and the stat and like just the base stats and all three of these symbols also have the ability to play a deadlock game.
Yeah.
And this is more deadlock stuck for it. Order's deadlock's a little rough because it's almost all in Guile, but this is relevant for it, and I think this card's going to be really crazy. Also, you picked all the other good ones.
I know, I'm sorry. I couldn't help it. I know, but I'm the host. I'm the owner of the channel, so I can do whatever I want sometimes. So,
but I like it.
I like it too.
You play Raphael because I like this card so much. Because I want to see it.
Hearing you talk about it makes me want 4 of this card so I can play it in Cami now. That's the whole reason why I want to do it. Now I want to play it in Cami. Because I have that ultra rare Cami just sitting in my binder and I want to play her. So I think that'd be a good thing to come out from one of these pin tournaments. So maybe if I get enough copies of this card, I can play her in the Order pin tournament and have my opponent pick between, Cami and something else they don't want to play against. So
Order and Chaos? You can do Cami and Cami.
Yeah, I could, but that'd be boring. Or they do like, oh, here we go. I can do Taki.
Before the errata of Spirit Gun, I was going to do Spike and Spike under Life and Death.
Oh, really? Were you? Oh,
it would be literally like the same deck.
It would be the same deck, yes. I can pick Cami for Order and Taki for Chaos. So I could do that. So I can have the Bosom Sisters, or what are they called? Thelma and Louise is what I'll call it. There you go. Call it Thelma and Louise. So my number one shouldn't be no surprise. It's another Cassandra card. It is Shield's Big Bang that got errated before it even got released because the Discord channel shameless players found an infinite within 30 minutes. So thank you guys for at least sharing that so we don't have to deal with an infinite again. So it's a 5 difficulty, 3 check, +2 mid block, 6 high 6 weapon. Life form, remove 1 asset, play this attack. E, discard 1 momentum, add 1 asset from your discard pile to your staging area. So this states you have an asset, you can play. You have an asset, you can play this attack again. You have momentum, you can keep adding momentum. You can keep playing this attack as long as you have more momentum. So I also like it that they saved us some trouble and put the life enhance on there. So Faye just couldn't just loop this attack for infinite forever as long as she had assets to deal with. So
in a discard pile.
I have a discard pile which she can search for if she has like a she can actually add those to hand if she wanted to. But yeah, so Cassandra adds once per turn adds an asset in to play from after she checks it. So she also gives fuel for this. The only issue is you're gonna have to find a way to get your momentum reliably. So I think that maybe
the fact that the character builds them says that she doesn't need as much momentum to keep fueling it. You can just stockpile a bunch of assets.
That's true. You just stockpile
and then just send it.
Yeah.
I was too big brainy too about it under. So yeah, so the discard momentum is only to feed it if you don't have assets.
Correct.
Because it feeds for the next one that you can play literally right after it. Yeah. But in decks that can also just turbo out assets, this is just a reusable attack.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
The really cool and interesting part about it is that this card under Life, you can play Kali Yuga, and so Kali Yuga is a double reuse of the attack because you can attack with it, play another attack essentially. I'm not sure how progressive works for this card yet.
I think it would. You'd actually technically move it over to the last. Like you would move it. So you play Shield Big Bang, play an attack. You would play the form. It would go here. So it'd be like on a 6.
Does it ever leave? Because this hand can't stop it.
No.
See, there's a bunch of ifs I don't know about this card.
Yeah, I'm not. See, this is why we should never do a show without Rob, because Rob knows all this stuff. But whatever. We were excited and he's working.
It says play the attack.
Yeah. So it may be in the spot where it's at. So if it's the first attack, you may just keep playing it on a 5.
Maybe. I have no idea.
I'm not sure. Don't quote us on that. Leave it in the comments below for you rules.
Regardless, Kali Yuga doubles up for it. Because you can enhance, commit Kali Yuga, pick it up, play it again, and then you can pop the Kali Yuga or remove the Kali Yuga to play it again. So 1 momentum can turn into 3 plays of this card.
That's not even counting if you've checked an asset, if you're Cassandra. So if you can add that in, then you can just do it again. So
so I think, and that's just under Life. Under Good, you get things like Scarlet Meteor as well, so you can do that things. If I don't know about the progressive stuff yet, I wish I kind of did know. One of the cool things about this card I really think this, as well as Scarlet Meteor, will make room for Fort Negley to see some play again.
Yeah, that would be hot.
If progressive doesn't do anything for this card, picking Fort Negley to constantly shove cards into you and your opponent's card pool could be real dirty.
Yeah, it can. Yeah.
So the thing to block this time for 6.
Yeah. And then you just since you're playing off of good, or if you're playing off of good or earth and your character has life, and then you may have shadow inheritance, so you're also getting 2 cards into your card pool as you're getting rid of Fort Negley. Then you just go, you died. You're dead. You're not your dad. You're dead. You just dead. You died. You're dead.
Yeah.
Go to sleep.
Like, there's a lot of things with this card. It can't be infinitely used, but man, you can still really you can put this thing.
I honestly think the intention was to at least play it 2 or 3 times a turn, since it is an ultra rare, obviously. So not infinitely, but at least if you want to really go ham into that game plan, then you're off. Play this for this and nothing but assets, and God may have mercy on your soul, or whatever they say. So but
this is definitely one of the big reasons why asset hate will be everywhere, because you don't want to have this. This attack just has so much value, and any character that sees it.
What's really cool in Cassandra, and if you have her asset out, it's an 8 mid 8, 8 high 8. I'm sorry, 8 high 8.
Right.
Yes.
As long as it's checking 4s.
As long as checking 4s, that's all you need, and it's not difficult to check 4s. I guess I heard, so it's not hard. So, but anyway, yeah, cool. I'm pretty excited for the set, actually. The more I've talked about it, the more excited. I wasn't too hyped on it, but then the more I talk about it, the more excited I get. So, yeah. So,
what characters are you most hyped for?
Amy and Cassandra. Those are the 2. Because even though I didn't pick really none of Amy's cards, because I want them all to be on the down low. So I don't want everyone trying to snipe them all from me. So, but no, those are the 2 characters I haven't played a stacker yet in the new Jesco era, so I think Amy is going to suit me pretty well, because I like zone changing and stuff. And then Cassandra just seems crazy. So 722, we've seen characters overstated 7 hand size characters do really well. They top and they've won worlds and stuff like that. So, or Nats or whatever, I don't know. Like an overstated 7-hander, aka Guile. Guile loves this card too, by the way. If you don't know that, so
Guile,
yeah.
Oh yeah,
it's like an 11. It's like a 10 for 6. Yeah.
What do you think Mark's already been building?
Yeah, I know, right?
This is all he's been playing.
He needs a replacement for Spirit Gun, so I guess this may be it. So
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, most likely. So, all right. Well, any final thoughts before we end it?
Man, I really want to play all these characters that other people are going to play. I'm actually probably going to go back and play Maxi.
Yeah.
My Maxi deck that I built before he got banned, that didn't abuse any like crazy stuff,
sure.
Is still really good, and I think it will be with new Maxi.
Cool.
So I'm kind of excited to play him.
Me too. I'm excited. I'm excited to see other people play him that wanted to play him, because we had some locals who wanted to play him that then he got banned, and they're like, "Well, this sucks," because they weren't abusing all that stuff either. They were playing a pretty fair, solid game of UFS. Yeah, they weren't.
Yeah.
They weren't JJing it up. So
yeah. So I'm also excited for Sung Mina, but I don't want to fight against J Ray. I'm gonna try Raphael. I'm excited for almost all the Order characters except for Amy.
Yeah.
I think Order I might be playing Order again after this, just because I've really missed playing that symbol,
sure.
and I think this set did a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it be the Sung Mina support or the Raphael stuff.
You mean you don't just have to play Kotal Khan or Ed 9 to play Order now? That's great.
Yeah, hopefully. That's always the goal.
That's the goal, yes, to have other characters, for sure. So
I also kind of like Aswell a little bit.
Okay.
So it's a few things.
Yeah. Cervantes is kind of tickling my fancy a little bit after watching Tim play him last night, but
I don't know if I like him that much.
I don't know. I don't know yet, so I have to see. So I'm like I said about Yu Yu Hakusho, I can see myself building 10 out of the 12 characters, because I don't really care for Astaroth. That's just me. Astaroth is not my cup of tea. So and then I don't like Sung Mina seems fine. It's just I again, the whole J-Ray thing. I'm not sorry, bud. I'm not gonna tread on your lady. So
Yeah.
But all right, cool.
Yeah. That's
Well,
about it.
thanks for joining, Barrett. Thanks for watching, everyone. Like, comment, subscribe. Let us know in the comments what cards you're excited about, and good luck at your pre-releases this weekend. And if you're going to the Indie PTC, good luck as well. Have a good night. Bye.